What's up, everyone? It's day 89, 89? I think it's 89, or 88, I think it's 89. Either way, very close to day 90. Before I begin, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for their love and support on yesterday's video. It was not my original intention when doing these videos that I would be sort of outpouring myself to you all publicly or via YouTube, but obviously I was having a pretty rough time. It all worked out in the end that I got to work, and I still was not there mentally, so I took leave, went home just to get away and de-stress. So I practically did nothing and just watched scary movies all day, something I'd never get a chance to do. And I thought, what's something that would sort of cheer me up, something I don't get an opportunity to do anymore that I can do. Jazz and April were out for the day, so I had the house to myself. So I just had like it was almost like back when I was in like freelancing, or just those days that I just had a day off, a day to myself. I definitely needed it, definitely helped. On top of that, we also found out that we have been approved for the government assistance to help with our bond payment for our new house. As some of you will know, we've been asked to leave our house. We didn't have the savings prepared for such a change. So it's been a definite financial struggle, as I sort of mentioned yesterday. So there's 1.5K that we don't have to go and figure out where we're going to get it now. So just that was a super huge relief. Definitely lifted a weight off my shoulders. I'm noticing this morning, look, I'm still a little bit stressed about going to work today, just with what I talked about yesterday, but I'm not freaked out about it like I was yesterday. One of those things has lifted, and it's definitely helped me sort of come at ease, and I'm not overwhelmed anymore. So I just gotta roll with the punches and play the day out. So enough of that, let's get back to it. I did manage to get up nice and early this morning. I got about an hour's worth of work on Monkey Junk. So I just continued inking the page that I was inking yesterday, and it's coming along nicely. I thought I might finish it, but I definitely expected a little bit too much of myself. Didn't quite make it there, but I've only got maybe half a panel left to finish. And I think I explained this the other day, that was one of the panels where I had to redraw it. So I finished everything. You'll see it in the video anyway, but I pulled off the other backing page, taped in the new page, and also when I was drawing it, I overdrew, so I drew outside of the designated area a little bit. So when I actually came in to put it into the panel, I was able to shift it around a little bit and find a bit better positioning, give a bit more emphasis on the characters rather than the door and things like that. So yeah, it's coming up nicely. I'm really happy with this page. Sort of looking at it, I feel like there's not a lot of black in there, but I suppose that's not really a bad thing. I just need to be mindful of the next few pages. I suppose it's sort of a light, happy moment, so it doesn't need to be filled with blacks and all that. But the next few pages, I think, are going to be quite black heavy, quite possibly. Yeah, there's a little bit of gloom, but there's some serious moments about to come up, which I'm really excited about drawing. A bit scared because, this is a new environment now, and I finally get the opportunity to draw away from Earth, so I get to have that fun again, designing those. So in saying that, last night I had to do a bit of client work, so yeah, sort of eased myself out of things. Managed to just, we were watching Riverdale and just watching a bit of TV. We watched the Avengers Age of Ultron in preparation for tonight, because we're going to see Infinity War, which I'm super pumped about. That's another thing I'm looking forward to. Thank you to Mike, actually, who gave me a really great idea, sort of how to get past some of those negative thoughts, and he actually had a name for, I can't remember what it was now, when you're sort of thinking negatively and having those negative conversations with yourself. To think about, the positives in your life. And that was one thing I did. I was like, oh, well, I'm nearly finished 100 days. And one of those things that really perked me up a little bit, I'm going to see Infinity War tonight. and like, you know, it's just a movie at the end of the day, but it's going to be an awesome movie. I love the Marvel series, so I'm very excited to see what happens. Very nervous too to see how it all plays out. So we're doing that. I managed to get some work done for my client work, because I really do need to nut out some of that and try and get ahead. I'd like to be very close to finishing it before we move, which is in a couple of weeks' time. Once I've done that, I just sat on the couch for maybe half an hour to an hour with Jazz, just, you know, actually getting some time on the couch alone, which is nice. But typical me, still had a sketchbook in my hand, and I started drawing backgrounds. And while I was working, I popped Steven Universe on. I haven't watched Steven Universe in a couple of years, so I'm way behind. So I just went back to the start and I was watching it, and sort of reminded myself of how beautiful this cartoon is. The backgrounds are so wonderfully done, the character designs are beautiful, and I'm just looking at different scenes. Like, there was a scene where one character was just putting a log on a fire, and I was like, that hand looks great, and I just wanted to stop and screenshot it. I didn't, but I feel like I probably might just create a catalogue of those references. But I was really loving the background, so when I sat down, I just got on my phone, googled Steven Universe backgrounds, and just started drawing a few of them. So not tracing, but just copying from the reference on my phone. And yeah, it was lovely. It was just relaxing, but also just so creative, and I was really enjoying what I was seeing. So if I get time today, I'm going to, like on my lunch break or something, I'm going to try and download a whole bunch of Steven Universe backgrounds, and similar as well, and just hop into my sketchbook and just redraw them. Hopefully get an understanding of you know, why the artist drew them the way they did, and you know, the perspectives, and just how they draw different elements which all put everything together. So like the cliffs, the mountains, the trees, the rocks, the water, the dirt, the sand, the structures. Try and figure out their mentality of building all of these things, because eventually, like, reference to me is so important, but eventually I'd like to get to a point where I can just imagine these scenes and build them. I'm sure there's still going to be a lot of groundwork to do that, but you know, getting to that point where I can just come up with a cool concept and draw it, and you know, I think it'd be a cool job, even if it was a starting point to become like a background artist. That would be pretty rad. Yeah, so that was my night. Feeling a lot better. Still not 100%, but feeling a lot better than I was yesterday. So it's feeling good, great enough that I can go to work and hopefully just have a normal work day, and just slog through it all. Otherwise, I'm going to leave you guys there. I'm going to go listen to some happy punk tunes, or you know, just some uplifting music. You know, I've been trying to do that yesterday as well. I'll leave you guys alone, and I'll catch you all in a couple of days. So tomorrow's the weekend, of course, so usually I don't update till the Monday, so I'll see you guys then. Goodbye. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all kicking ass with your comics as well. I forgot to say that yesterday. I've probably forgotten to say it a few times, but just a reminder that I hope you're all doing awesomely.